Hey, it's George Fourie. Welcome to the Martial Arts Media Business Podcast. So today I'm going to give you a full review of our most recent martial arts business event, our Partners Intensive, which was a private martial arts business event for our private clients, our partner members, and it was held in Brisbane, July 2022. So going to give you a full review, just what we covered, what we did, what made the event cool, different, exciting, and stick around. I'll also share with you how to access the recordings of the event and how you can potentially be invited to the next one. All on martialartsmedia.com/number 34. But let's jump into the details. All right, so our Partners Intensive. That was it. If you're watching this, I'm holding up a big, thick workbook, 170 pages of strategies, notes, models, and things that we worked through from front to back. Why so many pages? Well, you didn't ask that, but I think I'm just going to tell you, because if you think 170 pages, that sounds like hard work. Well, it actually means less work, right? It means that we did the hard work up front, and in the sessions, our members were able to take notes. The strategies were already done for them, and it was a great way to just really refine things and keep track and walk away with a clear plan. So let me start with that. Events. Now, I don't know what type of events you've been to. There's great events and there's not so great events. And then there's events that you think are great events and you feel like it was a great event because it was. But when you look at the content, you kind of walk away with a scatterbrain. You walk away with all these ideas and you're on this dopamine high. So you feel really good about attending this event. And you come back with ideas and you think, oh, wow, I've got all these things that I've got to do. And so you're on this mental high because of the event. But now you get home and now you got to make a plan. Now you got to put this all together. Now you got to make it practical for yourself. And that's hard to do if you don't have a structured strategy and an outline for you to be able to take everything and implement it fast. Because let's face it, information without implementation means squat. So you might feel good about the event and you might have gotten a lot of ideas, but if you weren't able to capture it and capture the strategy of how to implement it, it sort of becomes like that whole long to-do list of stuff that just kind of never gets done. And so it doesn't take long, and you look at it and it probably causes more overwhelm than actual results because you just can't get to the things that were mentioned. So I'd like to say we go about it a little bit different. Now, our events are for our private clients. So these are paid for events by us, our members who pay to be in our program. And so we run the events for free for them. And we structure it over 3 days and we make sure that our members can walk away, get the strategies, but also get the work done and be able to implement. And so that when they get home, they have a clear plan and they know what to do. All right, so I'm going to jump into exactly what we did over 3 days. So first up, this event was really special because one of our partner members, Ross Cameron from Fight Cross in Albion, Brisbane, they created when I say world class, I don't even think it does it justice, but their new gym is a combination of a complete lifestyle center and a gym, martial arts gym. So what I mean by that, and I'll just get Ross's permission before sharing it, but I'll love to post it below this in this episode. So if you go to martialartsmedia.com/134, there will be, I say will be because he'll say yes. We did a walkthrough of his facilities and we posted this in our private members group. But I'll share it on this page that you can get a perspective of actually what this gym is about and will really inspire you for whatever it is that you want to add or fine tune in your facilities. So it's a complete lifestyle center, meaning, you walk in, there's a coffee shop on the side, there's a patisserie where you can pick up pastries and like really healthy meals. Then there's a bar, and then you walk upstairs and you walk into Fight Cross, which you got to see the video, right? But it's like wooden panels. It's just like it just looks spectacular. The vibe, the feel, the everything. And there's a gym at the back. There's different areas for fitness classes and so forth. And then large mat space at the back and a cage in the corner. We hosted the event there. And this was a event that we probably won't be able to repeat, really because of, we'll need a bigger space next time. Now, Ross's gym is huge, but obviously the space where we were able to host a conference can only host so many people. So it was really great to have that type of experience and be able to host the event at a martial arts gym / lifestyle center of that caliber. It was really good to have all our members get together there, and we were able to do things on the mats as well as in the conference facilities. So really special to have done that. Thanks to Ross Cameron for opening up his facilities for our members. If you're ever in Brisbane, hit him up and go have a look. It's mind blowing. So that's the first thing I want to say about it. Just the facilities were, it was just a spectacular environment to be in. So then we got to work, right? So 3 days we got to work, and let me just cover through some of the content that we went through. So first up, we started off with our progress snapshot, just all our members looking at things that they have done over the past couple of months and results that they got. We also had a session called Mimic the Masters, where some of our members shared some things that they were doing well, and then we had a roundtable discussion about that. Then my friend Pete Tansley spoke to us about Nail Your Socials. So you can follow him on Instagram, Pete Tansley, Pete, last name Tansley, all one word. Also check the show notes, obviously, for a link to that. So Pete Tansley spoke to us about nailing your socials. So we were talking about vertical videos, how to get traction on it, how to plan it, how he creates an astronomical amount of videos. I think he created like 30 videos in 17 minutes, something crazy. And he really brought a great, diverse flavor and experience to the event. Now, obviously, our clients, all martial arts school owners. Pete is very well known in this fitness industry and works with fit pros. And so he gave his perspective of just building that personal brand and how we could adopt it for martial arts schools. So really, really valuable session. Then we jumped into Google. So we had a goal that by the end of the day, our members would have either new Google ads up and running for those that didn't have any Google ads, or those that already had Google ads up and running had their setup optimized. So if you've listened to my podcast for a little while, you know that we focus heavily on Facebook, and that's what we do. We've also started diversifying back to Google. And if I say back to Google, Google is where I learned how online marketing works. That was before the Facebook days. I know I'm giving away my age here, but that's really where I started. I started learning how Google ads work, how direct response marketing works via running Google ads. And the first time I ever worked with martial arts schools, we were running Google ads and we got great results from it. Google is, I don't want to say make a comeback because it's always been there, but there's a lot of things developing with Google that I'm really excited about. And I feel that if you're not taking advantage of what Google is doing, then you're not running a complete customer journey. So yep, you might have great Facebook ads, but then people search for you and they don't find you. Now, a lot of people say, yes, but when we type in our name or this, people find us. Yep, that's great, but it's typically only for one keyword. And if you're coming up in the organic search results, it's easy to come up just for your name or something else, but you've got to remember a few things. Number one, there's about, there's 10 to 15 spots on the Google fronts page that can be occupied. So the more real estate you own, the better. And you probably won't come up for all the other keywords, all the other terms that people are typing in. And by the way, Google has expanded way beyond just the search mechanism. So yeah, very excited about that. So the first session we did was hands-on, more about the theory. And then we all pulled up our laptops and I was able to walk around the room and help everyone get their Google ads up and running. So that was great. Cool. So that was day one. Day two. Day two, we had my friend Costa Pazoulis from Zeus Academy in Sydney. He covered a process that we call the curriculum creator, where we went through a strategy of how to extract a curriculum from your mind and structure it in a way that you can build an asset within your curriculum. We went into real detail of how they go about breaking down a technique, which I found really interesting, breaking it down between not just the actual technique, but a whole framework around it, behind the history, the founding fathers, the etiquette, etc., etc. And so we did, in the conference room, we went through the whole strategy. Our members were able to, we had a bunch of sticky notes. They were able to write down all the techniques and strategies and be able to map it out on a big board and structure a curriculum. And then after lunch, we went to the mats and we went over the various styles that, as an example, so Costa with them, they teach Taekwondo, they do Muay Thai, they do Jiu-Jitsu and Hapkido. So we went over the different styles and how we could bring this curriculum together and sort of what the crossover was between different techniques so that you get more of a visual experience of how it all fit together. So that was day two. A lot of it was martial arts training curriculum. And then we rounded off the last session of the day, and this is always a killer, was our mastermind session. And the mastermind session was just 90 minutes of pure gold. It's also the one session we could not record because the mastermind, you got to be in the mastermind to get the value out of the mastermind. So mastermind is kind of just a round table and everybody brings something that they're working on or stuck with, and we use the power of the room that everybody gets clarity on that. That was Saturday. Saturday night, we had some fun. Good night out in Brisbane City, which was great. And then Sunday, we had an epic day. Sunday morning, we had Brett Fenton. Now, Brett and I created a program way back, and I'll link to it in this episode, called the Instructor Team Blueprint. So I might butcher the numbers a little bit here, but Brett runs about, I think it's 74 classes per week, and he only teaches 6 of them. So he's really empowered his entire instructor team to run the classes like complete autonomy. So we wanted to do an add-on of the course, Instructor Team Blueprint, and we covered a session, Young Instructors, High-Level Classes. And we did a video breakdown of how his instructors go to work, how they run the classes, and yeah, really, really valuable session. Then we jumped into the 6-figure open day. Shane McMahon, one of our top members, did a session on what they've been doing to run a 6-figure open day. Most recent one, I think they got 89 signups on their open day. If you're in the States, you might refer to it as an open house, States or Canada. Same thing, we just call it open day. And we went through the whole process. This was a real heavy session with just strategies, how we go about promoting it in Facebook groups, just community groups, which is really gold. How we go about running the Facebook ads, how we structure the ads. The real gold is how to sign people up before the open day, from the open day, and after the open day. And the beauty of it is the whole open day runs in like 90 minutes flat. Yeah, that was a really good session of how to get local communities involved, how to get food trucks involved, how to get local radio involved, etc., etc., etc. Last but not least, we ran a session to map out a 6-week plan. So like a 6-week cycle. And so all our members were able to take all the notes, everything that they covered, and map it out into a plan to execute over the next 6 weeks. That was our event. Now, if you would like to join us for our next event and come as my guest to our Partners Intensive, at the time of the recording this, we are planning to host the next one somewhere in North America. That's all I can say right now. We also run these online throughout the year. Now, if you'd like to join us for our next Partners Intensive, then I'd like to invite you to come as my guest. Now, the way you can do that is On this page where we host this podcast, martialartsmedia.com/134, the number's 134. Go to that page and there's a button where you can download the transcript. And on the next page, you'll find a little calendar where you can book in a time to chat with me. It's 10-15 minutes. The purpose of the call is really a quick marketing brainstorm to see how we can potentially help you. And we can chat about whether you would be a fit to attend our next event or not. It's not a sales call. It's really just a chat, low-key chat between a little bit about marketing, what you're doing, and to figure out if you would be a fit for our next event. Go to that, book in a call. Otherwise, if you don't want to book in a call, just send me an email. Go to your email client and just email me at george@martialartsmedia.com. Send me an email just with the subject line event, and we can chat via that. And if you do want to get access to the recordings of the event, all the content that we create is always recorded. We had a video crew that recorded all 3 days. That is currently being edited and uploaded into our members portal for our partner members. So for that, same strategy, same way to get in touch with me. Send me an email or just go to martialartsmedia.com/134, download the PDF transcript for this episode, and on the next page, book a call with me and we can have a chat about whether that would be suitable for you or not. That's it. I hope this was useful. I hope you got a few things out of it. Before I wrap it up, I really want to say this, and I should have said this in the beginning. It's been a rough couple of years, right? It's been a rough couple of years with events and doing everything online. And, I think people like myself are probably way more ready to live in this online world because I've been living in this online world for way prior to COVID. So it was just business as usual for me. But I know it was a lot to adapt for a lot of people. But there's one thing that just can't be beaten, and that is face-to-face human interaction. You can watch content online and you can sit and watch an event online. But come on, you know what it's like. When you're in your same environment where you can still be distracted, where your phone can ring, where somebody can walk in, you still don't have that uninterrupted time to focus. And events are not just about the content. It's really about the people that you meet and the conversations that you have in between. So, you got to book the flight. You got to clear your diary. You got to have the conversation with your wife to look after the kids. Unless, of course, you bring them along and they can have a bit of a break and you tag a holiday on to the back of it. Hey, we work a lot and do a lot for our members, our students. Why not use the business and claim a good holiday on tax as well? Use the business to your advantage. But at the end of the day, right? I know I'm preaching to the choir, and you've probably been to a lot of events, and you agree with me on this 100%. But nothing beats going to live events and meeting people and having those conversations in between. And that's really in between the sessions. And that's really where the magic is. So anyway, get in touch with me if you want to join us for our next event. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.